Hi everyone, this is Francesca Vigliani from Cloud Academy. Thank you for joining us for this webinar. We are very happy to see so many people from all over the world with us. We're here today to talk about how to land your first job in tech. We know that especially at this particular time, finding a new job can be challenging and daunting, but do not despair, do not fear, we're here to help. We got some of our people together for a deep dive into how they entered the tech world, and who better than those who have started a career in tech to talk about their own experiences. Am I right? On top of that, you'll also get the chance to gain some key insights from one of our HR experts. So without further ado, let's hear it from our dream team: Valentina Calabrese, Matteo Visin, Matteo Cattaneo, and Valentina Zaccolo. Take it away, guys. What is your role and what do you do at Cloud Academy?
My name is Valentina, and I am currently a junior front-end software engineer here at Cloud Academy. And I work with a small team, and basically what I do is helping to create interfaces and helping to build the product basically from a front-end perspective.
My name is Matteo Visin. I work as a software engineer in the lab team. Laboratory is the most difficult part of the academy because it's a mixture between programming and cybersecurity and DevOps. So it's a really mixed role.
My name is Matteo. I'm the Vice President of Engineering. I manage the whole engineering team. I support them in the delivery of new features to improve the platform, and I help setting the technology strategy for the company.
Tell us how your journey started.
Okay, that's a good question. So my journey actually started about 4 years ago when I started getting interested in the field of web development, and I started creating my first few websites using WordPress, and I started getting to know the basics of HTML and CSS. I was studying economics back then at university, but I wasn't completely fulfilled by this path. So that's why I was motivated to look at other options for my future career, and that's basically how I got started into getting to learn about front-end technologies.
So my journey started much more before, probably when I was a kid, because my father was working Siemens, and once he brought home what was the POC of the Lego Technic. And it was very funny because with the visual interface, you can program motors and sensors, and I started developing at the age of 10, probably. And so from there, it was the natural evolution becoming a software engineer.
Well, my journey as an engineer started similarly as for Matteo when I was a kid. I was from the 70s, so for me it was a Commodore 64, and I wanted to program games for it. My journey as a manager started, of course, a little bit later when I understood that I wanted to have a bigger impact, and this is only achievable when you have other people helping you to get where you want to get.
Can you tell us about your job search process and what you've learned from it?
So as far as my job search process is concerned, I would say that I always try to keep an eye on the companies that are committed to bringing about a positive change in society in general and whose vision better aligns with my values. That's where I start my search. So by making sure that, of course, that my resume is always up to date, my portfolio includes some personal projects, and that this is reflected into my GitHub account. So I always try to be sure to push commits and do and make sure that I have some side projects.
So for me, I started as an entrepreneur. So I created first my own company, and then that was a small startup. Then I went in some bigger company and so on. But always I've searched for something that makes me happy, because as I said, I started programming when I was a kid. So for me, programming is like a sort of game, and that's it's always the most important thing that I search in a company. Then, of course, sometimes I've been contacted, sometimes I search for a specific company, sometimes I fail in doing interviews, but I think this is a part of the game. And as I said, for me, the most important thing is going to work and enjoying that.
My job search process has, of course, evolved through the years. Before, it was the classic process of trying to hit companies that seemed interesting to me, that had good openings. And nowadays, it's more about making sure that I've built good relationship with people that can refer me. Because work with me in the past, they know what I can deliver, and basically they're looking to fill a gap in their organization. So it's a lot more about making sure of building the right relationship compared to the past, when it was more, of course, trying to look on the internet and apply for the right company.
What challenges did you encounter?
So I was lucky enough to be actually discovered on Stack Overflow. So I first got in touch with my recruiter here at Cloud Academy. But the main challenges I faced, of course, were the technical interviews, and those are always like the biggest issue. I mean, the biggest challenge when it comes to, of course, getting a job. And I would say definitely, always, it's good to be prepared and to make sure that you know well the basics, depending on what developer job you're aspiring to do. But yeah, it's always tough. It's a very challenging process because it's made up of a lot of different stages, and so yeah, it's definitely a struggle. But I was lucky in this case that I was able to go through the steps without much difficulties.
For myself, probably the most important challenge is against myself when I fail, because of course you start thinking about what I did wrong and so on. I think the worst worst process was within this company. I made like 3 months of interviews, like more than 10 steps, and then they told me, no, sorry, we are looking for someone else after, like I said, 3 months. Or another time, I accepted this job without asking exactly and taking wide notes of what they said. They told me, okay, you are going to work on this kind of project, and was like building a new ticketing system for an airlines company, so much big. And then they sent me to do bug fixing on e-commerce of a retail company. So I think it's something that could happen, and you have to learn even to do interviews and make all the questions that you have in your mind.
For me, the biggest challenge is that each company and each organization is, of course, different. So despite having a long experience in managing engineering teams, as I said, each team is different, people are different, so you can hardly copy and paste what you've learned. You always have to adapt and to understand what is the culture in the company you're joining, and see if you can be a fit for it, or what you need, how you need to adapt in order to make it effective.
What impact did your international experiences have on your job search and career?
I would say that they actually had a huge impact for sure. The fact that I was able to complete 2 internships in the US gave me a lot of tools and perspective, which I was able to then convey during the interview process here at Cloud Academy. Those international experiences constituted like a sort of bridge, which allowed me to create a connection with my future teammates right away. And as we started to basically speak and talk about design systems and best practices when it comes to front-end technologies, so definitely my international experience played a big role, and they ultimately were the tools that allow me to really have a wider perspective in general.
For me, I think it was the best choice of my life, because I've lived in Dublin for 2 years. It was not only a technical growth, but even a personal growth. because when you go abroad, especially in a such distant country with a completely different culture, you are pushed out of your comfort zone and you are forced to grow, not only technically speaking, but even as a person. You become much more stronger, and you understand what you want, what you don't want. And that's a really important thing to learn. And of course, getting in touch with people all around the world, you learn a lot of things from different people and a lot of soft skill that you cannot learn in a manual or online.
Well, my international experience has led me to live with different cultures, live in different cultures, and also, of course, inside the companies I was working for. And I think it has helped me to broaden my horizons in understanding that there are different solutions to a problem. And it has definitely helped me to get better at managing diversity. So I think that having seen people facing different or tackling different problems in different ways has definitely helped me to see things in a different way.
What tips would you have for someone embarking on this journey?
Okay, I would say, make sure that your LinkedIn profile is always up to date and that you listed all the important details regarding your education and past working experiences, in your profile. The personal description is also, quite important. So it gives recruiters like a quick glance on what your main areas of expertise are. And what you are also mostly passionate about. I would also say, if you're a developer, I would highly suggest having a personal portfolio which showcases all your side projects, and of course a GitHub profile where recruiters and your employer can see basically what you're up to. So this is I would highly recommend.
From my side, because I've seen some cases and colleague of mine, so don't choose this path just for the money. Because I've seen people studying computer science just because it was the most searched area for recruiters, and do it only if you want to do it, because you will spend nights in just fixing a line of code and getting crazy. And I think it doesn't work just for the money. So okay, it's not a physical work, it's a mental work, but it's heavy, it's tough, and think about it really well.
Yeah, I would say be open for new challenges. There will definitely be challenges in this type of roles. You need to accept them and to do your best. You will hardly be able to go by the book. Of course, it's important to also have a solid preparation, but you will also have to be creative and improvise. I think that's the most important part, to be open and flexible and try new things and be creative.
Looking back, is there anything you would have done differently?
I would have probably chosen to study computer science at university right away, but I'm very happy about the way things turned out in the end, because even though I switched my major, I was able to still gain a lot of transversal skills, and it was really helpful, and I was able to really get the best out of different worlds, and it was interesting for me to learn about different things and different topics as well, not just computer science. Yeah, I mean, I'm here in this journey, so I'm really looking forward to see what's coming next. But I don't have really many regrets.
For me, I would have done the Erasmus, because I'm still missing that. I did an experience abroad working, but I think when you are younger, it's even better.
Well, I've done, of course, my share of mistakes. I think I'm learning to deal with them and to accept them. Probably going back, I would ask someone for help earlier, like in terms of mentorship and coaching, especially when moving from an individual contributor role to the manager role, and also while growing the scope of the teams I manage, probably having someone or trying to reach out someone for help could have helped me to avoid some of them. Yeah, so.
Plot twist. What do you like best about working at Cloud Academy?
That's a great question. I would say, of course, I love the people. That's basically, one of the, reasons that I like staying here, because I got a lot of mentorship, which is cool. I'm learning so many things, and really, I'm proud and happy to be here right now. So I'm looking forward to seeing, what's next, of course, and yeah.
Like every birthday, we have the kitchen full of croissants. And joking. Yeah, working with the labs, I'm always working with the top-notch technologies, and we are facing a lot of problems, as I said, from programming side to DevOps side to cybersecurity side. So I enjoy that.
People, of course. We have a very, well, except me, a very young team, full of people who are really ambitious, very skilled, but also, they listen to each other. So I think that that's a very important part. And of course, the situation the company is going through, we're growing. We want to do new things. We want to be the next big thing in terms of education and learning online. So that's definitely very interesting for me.
What is your role and what do you do at Cloud Academy?
Okay, so hi, I'm Valentina and I'm a senior recruiter in the HR team at Cloud Academy. So I work with the teams and with the hiring managers on recruiting and hiring. And I also focus on some HR related tasks for our employees in the Swiss office.
What is the best way to apply for a job?
Okay, so there are several ways to apply for a job. Usually the best option is to apply on the company website and on their career page. And, the reasons are quite simple. You can have a look at the core values, the mission, and understand better what the company business is. There are also some job platforms like LinkedIn or Stack Overflow, where there is a dedicated section to apply for the job, or at least a link to the career page. And I do think also social media channels can help you a lot, because companies usually put some videos or fun content, for example, that can help you get an idea about the culture and about their people, because it's not only about the job, but also the work environment is important. And in general, I can say that whether you're applying for a tech job or any other roles, being prepared about what the company does is crucial. You should have a clear understanding about the role, why you're applying, and why you would like to be hired for that role.
What are the qualities that make a candidate stand out?
That's a really good question. Well, it really depends on the company and on the role. But generally speaking, besides the tech skills, which of course are important, employers are looking for people who are highly motivated, are able to show their impact and value on the company, and have a positive attitude. And for example, here at Cloud Academy, we also love candidates who have a startup mindset, a go-getter approach, some international experiences, but also people who are humble and very good team players.
As an HR professional, what tips could you give a candidate applying for a tech job?
Okay, so I'd say always look at the software and products the company is building, and also the tech stack they use. And if they ask you about your impressions on their product and software, feel free to share your comments and thoughts on things that, in your opinion, might be improved. And also be open to share some of the projects you were involved in, trying to be as precise as possible about the tech stack you used, about your responsibilities, and why you enjoy working on a tech job. And if you don't have many years of experience as a tech professional, that's fine. In that case, we strongly recommend that you share a link to a side project you have worked on. And it can be a web or a mobile app or anything else you build using a tech stack.
Is there anything else you'd like to add?
Okay, let me think. I'd say always keep in mind that the perfect candidate doesn't exist. And don't let a job description stop you from sending your application. If you think you're fit for a role, just apply and show us what you got. And also, and this is important, motivation is the key. It's always exciting when we meet candidates who are passionate about what they do and are genuinely interested in the job and in our company.
That's awesome. Thank you, Valentina. To conclude, could you please tell us about the current job openings at Cloud Academy?
Yeah, sure. Okay, so we have many job openings and in many different locations right now. Some of them are on-site and other are remote. Our engineering and product teams work in our Swiss office, so we're looking for software engineers and product managers there. As for the remote roles, we are looking for SMEs in the US, Canada, and in the UK. But all of our job positions are posted on our website. And so you can visit our career page or reach out to us at jobs@cloudacademy.com.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Well, that's it for today. Thank you to our Cloud Academy experts and to our audience. We hope you found this session insightful. Before we part, just a couple of housekeeping reminders. You will receive the recording of this session as soon as it is available. And we would truly appreciate it if you could fill out the quick survey that will pop up shortly. Your feedback is extremely helpful in understanding what kind of webinars you'd like to see more of. Again, thank you for joining us, and until next time, goodbye.